Hello, Shafi.
Hello, Cake. Alpha.
Yeah. Oh, Charlie, cool.
Mm.
Everything cool at your end.
Oh, you're managing.
Oh. Oh, okay. So we are waiting for 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I wanted to get something. So Kwame was saying the threat
Yeah.
intelligent sorry, the Sophos. We will try the Sophos
Mm-hmm.
this thing before we start the work. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. From next week, any training that we'll be having on Sophos, we'll just
Oh.
do that for maybe 15 minutes so that everyone will have an understanding of it before we start the seminar. So the seminar will take 45 minutes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that will be next week.
Yeah. From next week. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Today I'm using my, how do you call it?
Yeah,
My
Surface
phone,
Pro
my
9.
machine is not connected. My machine is not connected. So I don't know why. It's trying to fix it.
Okay, Shafu.
Hello? Yeah?
I think someone raised your hand.
It was me.
Yeah, it's Zilla. Yeah, Zilla.
My screen. I'm sorry. I was trying to share my screen and it was telling me only a present.
Yeah, I've made you a presenter so you can start sharing now.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Let me see.
Okay. So good day guys and welcome to our weekly seminar, the Threat Intelligence Seminar. Today we are coming up with another important topic, and the resource person to take us through is Madam Zilla. As you can see, she's trying to start sharing her screen. So once again, I welcome you all to this all-important meeting. And as she's talking, if you have any question, anything, any suggestion, you can just put it down, or you can raise your hand so When it's time for that, we'll call you to ask your question or to kind of bring any contribution that you have. So I can see today we have a full house, and we're waiting on Madam Zila to start sharing her screen. So Zila, I hope we are on track, right?
I'm here. I'm trying to find it. It's actually open on my screen, but I can't seem to pick it up. I'm trying to figure out how to pick it up.
Okay, just take your time.
Oh shit, what's this? Let me see, what's this? What the hell?
Okay, good.
No, I don't think it's coming up.
It's not coming, yeah.
This
I can see a whiteboard.
This is I don't even know what this is. Okay.
No.
Security, no, I'm not looking for you right now. Oh, okay. Oh, that's you. PowerPoint Live. I have other PowerPoint stuff opening up. Let me see. I know what's going on. I have the thing. Okay, let me go here. No, this is Clean Desk, one of my previous stuff.
This Clean Desk policy, that's your previous.
No, that's not what I was looking for.
Yeah, just close that one and then just take your time.
Okay, so let me come here. Close, 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 close. I'm sorry.
Don't worry, just take your time and then.
No. No.
Still?
Yeah, I have a lot of, I don't know what is going. Okay, so let me go to file. Let me pick it up from my file. Open, let's see.
Is it that you don't remember the name you saved the whole thing?
I saved it under social engineering.
Engineering, yeah.
Yeah, I saved under social engineering. Open. Okay. I'm waiting for it to open. Okay, now let me see if it'll let me share it because I just opened it. I've closed out all the other ones. I don't know why this is still.
Yeah, we still seeing the Clean Desk. Can you close that one?
Okay, stop sharing. No. This is not working. Okay. We need share permission. This is ridiculous. Okay,
No,
I know.
just close this one and start sharing your screen. When you start sharing, I think it will come. If only you've opened it.
I've opened it right now.
Okay. So
yeah. And presenter mode. Okay, window, it's giving me the PowerPoint Live thingies, but it's not giving me that particular one.
No, what I'm saying is that you go back to the themes and then you go to share my screen where you have it. When you open it and you start sharing, definitely we'll see your screen and then we'll be able to see that one too as well. But what we're having here is the Clean Desk, and I don't know Why we still have that one here? Good. So start sharing again. Hello?
Okay, so I'm back.
Okay.
I go to share and I still have the old stuff on here. What am I doing wrong?
No, have you opened the PowerPoint that you spread the
Yes.
social engineering PowerPoint? Have you
it's
opened that one?
Yes, it's open.
Okay,
let
so
me
just
share.
start sharing your screen and let's see.
Just share. Okay, I said upload share. Let me see if it comes up now. I put upload share from that screen.
Zilla, if you
So
haven't
what
made
is
any
that?
changes on your PowerPoint, I could share for you. Have you made any,
It's the
have you made any
same.
changes? Okay, so then
Maybe change the
Okay,
pictures,
so
but
it's
it's the same. Same.
all right, I have
info.
it shared, so you can just.
okay. What's the sharing?
Yay. Ha ha ha. Yeah, you can tell why I'm having problems because I was trying to be all bougie with it. Thank you so much for being patient with me. My name is Zilla Adapoku, and I'm here to present social engineering attacks. Okay. Kwame, how do I go to my next page?
I just click on it. Oh no, you asked me, I'll do it for you.
Okay, so next page, please.
You don't want this page because I'm showing definition.
Yeah, the next page is definition. I don't see that on the screen yet. Not on my end, at least.
Is it just her or everybody?
It's here. We can see.
Yeah,
You
I
can see
see
the
it too.
definition.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
That's
it's
it.
done.
Zilla, are you looking on the screen?
I'm on the screen. I'm clicking on it. And I don't see definitions.
No,
Okay.
look on the screen for Teams, so you see what I'm sharing.
Am I not on Teams? I thought I was on Teams.
You are on Teams, but look on
Okay, now I
Teams to
see
see what I'm sharing. Exactly.
Now I see definitions. Thank you.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So social engineering attacks are based on the exploitation of someone's personality. They can be referred to as hacking the human. At its core, it is manipulating a person into knowingly or unknowingly giving up information, essentially hacking into a person to steal valuable information through psychological manipulation, trickery, or deception for the purpose of information gathering. It is a way for criminals to gain access to information systems. The purpose of social engineering is usually to secretly install spyware, other malicious software, or to trick persons into handing over passwords and or other sensitive financial or personal information. Pretty much all they're trying to do is get in through an open window or door to cause harm. What do they want ultimately? Obtaining simple information such as your pet's name, where you are from, the places you've visited, information that you give out freely to your friends. Think of yourself as a walking computer, full of valuable information about yourself. You've got a name, address, and valuables. Now, categorize those items like a business does. Personally identifiable data, financial information, card holder data, health insurance data, credit rep, stuff like that, sorting data, and so on. Now take a close look at some of the secure sites you log into. Some have a secret question you have to answer. If you cannot remember your username or password, the questions seem pretty tough for an outsider looking into trying to hack into your account. What's the name of your first pet? What's your maiden name? What was your mother or father? Where were your parents born? Where were you born? Do any of these sound familiar? Okay, I still can't go next. Please, next page. Examples of social engineering. Phishing and spear phishing. Phishing emails are carried out by emailing someone or a group of people requesting that they need to complete the attached form, perhaps as there's a problem with their bank account. Some forms ask for personal details that could later be used for identity fraud. Such emails look as though they have come from a legitimate source, so users are fooled into carrying out the instructions they contain. Credential harvesting. This is an attack that is normally done using a phishing attack, where it states that some details on your account are incorrect, and it gives you a hyperlink to resolve the situation. When you click on the link, it gives you a fake web page to log on to. That way, your account details can be collected. Whaling. A whaling attack is an attack that targets either a CEO or a high-level executive. CEOs and high-level executives have intense days, so they might act like what seems like a minor request quick. They might answer what seems like a minor request quickly, so they can move on with the next task and end up being attacked. Very few of them are quite meticulous because, like I said, they are either multitasking or they are busy. Now, vision. A vision attack involves the use of VoIP, like a voice over IP phone, another telephone or modem, or someone leaving a voicemail to try and extort information. Next page, please. Spam or instant messaging, spam or smishing. This attack is basically phishing but uses SMS text messages. I'm sure you've all gotten them at least I get some a few times in a day, actually. They will ask you either to visit a website or call a phone number that turns out to be a premium rate call. Example, you get a text message that your FB account needs to be validated. When you click on the link, you are asked for your password or the website downloads a virus. Pretexting. This is where the attacker makes up a scenario asking for details to confirm someone's identity. This could then lead to identity theft. Example, someone pretends to be from Netflix, saying that there has been a suspicious activity on your account. They ask you to confirm whether or not it was you, and you could please confirm your account details. Now, illicit information. This is where the attacker will try to get you to provide information. For example, using a false statement in the hope that you will correct the statements. Another way is flattery. For example, they give you compliments to boost your ego in the hope that you will boast and provide more info. Bracketing. It's another form of attack where the hacker wants to know how many motion sensors there are in one part of the building. The attacker may say something to the security guard with respect to, I bet the security in this building is pretty good. I bet you have about 4 motion detectors in the lobby. And the guard unknowingly says, you are actually close. We actually have 7. Next page, please. And there are more examples of social engineering attacks. Identity theft. This is where someone steals your personally identifiable information. And remember that was the PII, to commit fraud or take control of one of your accounts. You should not throw a piece of information away, or you could have an attacker carry a dumpster diving. Pretexting and phishing are other ways in which your information can be collected. Types of identity theft includes the following: opening bank accounts, taking out loans or getting credit cards, obtaining passports or driver's licenses, ordering goods in your name, taking over your existing accounts, and taking out mobile phone contracts.
Hold on there.
Okay.
Dumpster diving, what does it mean?
Dumpster diving normally involves people going through your trash for your mail, because most of the time we're busy. So when we get mail, it could be from your financial institution. You read it, and instead of shredding it, we just rip it up in pieces. What they do is they pick up all those papers, and some people are very good at putting it together. Once they do, they have your whole life in front of them. They have access to your address, of course, your private, PII, some have social security numbers, maybe part of it. And if they put more information together, they may get all your information. So dumpster diving is actually one of the main things hackers use. They go through people's dumpster just to pick up mail that is not shredded well enough for personal information.
All right, thank you.
Invoice scams. This is where criminals obtain details of genuine invoices and they submit them for payment, but change the bank details. When the finance team looks at invoices, they look at purchase orders and invoice details as well as the product, but seldom look at the bank details of the person being paid. Tailgating. It is when someone opens the door using ID badge and then someone follows them in before the door closes. They can be especially effective if the person going through first is a middle-aged man or woman and the tailgating person is a pretty lady or man. They may be old school and keep the door open for a lady, or it could also be just someone carrying a heavy load and you're like, oops, oh, let me help you with that. So you unknowingly bring the hacker in by leaving the door open for them. And this can be also prevented by using man traps. Now, piggybacking, it's similar to tailgating, except they have permission from an employee. They pretend to be a hospital porter so that employee allows them access. It could be also where they seem to be struggling with a huge box, like I said earlier, and then an employee holds the door open for them and they gain access. Next page,
Okay.
please.
Hold on. You just mentioned mantrap, but then there was no explanation for that. So if I don't know what it is, how do I understand what you mean by that?
So the man trap is a security measure in place where, for instance, having let the person come in, they can go to the next stage or the next part of the building until they've been verified and cleared. So the man trap stops them from just opening every single door and just roaming around the place. And that's what the man trap does. So it's like every level, every space that you get to, you have to be verified and cleared before you have access to the next spot or room.
All right, thanks.
Next page, please. And much more examples of social engineering attacks. Impersonation. That can involve someone putting on a uniform of a traffic warden or police officer, for example. And imagine you're driving down the street and get flagged down by a police officer who is holding something that looks like a speed gun. Another form of impersonation is someone pretends to be from the help desk asking you for information about your department or tells you that you need to change your password because of problems with the IT system. Reconnaissance. There are two types of reconnaissance, passive and active. Now, with passive, reconnaissance is where the attacker researches your company and collects information that will be used at a later stage. Active reconnaissance is where the attacker interacts with the user on their desktop. For example, if someone has your username and tries to reset the password, that will be active reconnaissance. If they go to your run command or alter your registry, that will also fall under the active reconnaissance. Now, I know that's a little iffy there, but will explain as we go along. Influence campaigns. These campaigns are a social engineering attack to influence people from countries all over the world. There are two main types, social media and hybrid warfare. Now, with social media all over the world, social media has been used to influence voters in forthcoming elections. FB and Twitter have used extensively with many election campaigns. That's why politicians like using the young people. Now, with the hybrid warfare, normally carried out by state actors to influence the balance of power in a country by using military, political, and economic or civil means, and conceivably running a campaign to spread disinformation. Examples. In May 2014, Cyber Bakut, a Russian hacker group, exploited cyber vulnerabilities in the network of the Ukrainian National Election Commission to undermine the credibility of the elections. An next example, the deep sectarian ethnic and economic divisions in Syrian society were exploited by both Iran and ISIS with a view to achieving their strategic objectives. So during election campaigns, don't believe every single thing you read in the media. Verify, do some more research. Next page, please. So much more examples of social engineering attacks. Dumpster diving, my favorite word. So when someone removes the trash from your trash can in the hope of finding a letter that holds PII that can be used later to commit fraud, the best way to prevent this is to shred all mail that has PII before you dispose of it. A new type of dumpster diving has emerged where the attacker steals information from your recycle bin, or they steal information from removable media such as USB drives that you have on your desk. So even with dumpster diving, it's not just people jumping into your trash bins anymore. They're getting sophisticated. Now, shoulder surfing. That is one of my personal pet peeves. This involves a person standing behind someone who's using a computer so they can see sensitive information. Another example is someone using an ATM machine while the person behind them is using their smartphone to video that transaction. This is effective as the victim is concentrating on withdrawing their money and is not aware that they're being watched. Watering hole attack. Companies in the same industry visit very similar websites. Therefore, attackers identify a website that people in a particular industry are likely to visit and then infect it with the virus. This is effective as the people targeted have always been using the website for years and trust its content. And when that happens, you find companies blaming each other for espionage. This one says, you stole my developing this, you stole this, but they don't realize that they are all in the same boat. Next page, please. Yep, you guessed it. Way more examples of social engineering attacks. Hoax. Now, this is going to sound a little technical and it's not even going to sound like coming from me, but please pay attention. The JDBGMGR.exe virus hoax in 2002 involved email spam that advised computer users to delete a file named JDBGMGR.exe because it was a computer virus that looked like a cute little bear. This bear was found in the system 32 folder, and this meant that people were deleting their actual system files. This is the equivalent to opening up your car hood and removing all the leads and spark plugs. Do you think your car will start? No. Another example of a hoax will be purchasing fake antivirus software that do not work. Now, farming. This is a DNS redirection attack where either the DNS cache has been poisoned or an entry is placed in your host file. So in a sense, kind of like a little virus has been attached to it, not to make it work the way it's supposed to. Now, intimidation. An example of intimidation is someone pretending to be someone of high authority, for example, a police officer. They then threaten an individual, telling them that they will be in trouble if they don't do as they're told. This is effective because victims of this kind of attack are made to believe that they have no other choice but to do as they are asked. Example, an email from your CEO, a high-level executive, or the HR manager telling you to fill in a form or click on a link. It's an authority attack. Now, urgency attack. Normally, it's got time attached to it. It's when someone arrives at the reception desk and demands access quickly. They could target a new receptionist who may get flustered and let them in. Another good example is a fireman demanding access to server room before the building burns down. Everything indicates that time is of the essence. So if you're not too vigilant, you will fall into that trap. And this is effective because the receptionist panics, believing that there is actually a fire. Allowing a fireman into your server, though, can be an urgency attack. Next page, please. We're making headway, and you guessed it, way more examples of social engineering attacks. Now, scarcity. An example of this kind of attack is trying to panic you into making a snap decision. An example is when you want to rent a hotel room for a weekend away. You and 10 friends pick a hotel and go onto the website, and it says only one room is left in red. You purchased the last room and so do 10 of your friends, and guess what? There's still only one room left. A personal secretary receives a phone call from someone claiming to be in charge of domain names while the CEO is at a conference. The caller tells the secretary that they are calling to renew the domain name and that it must be done in the next 30 minutes, or else the company will lose the domain name. They state that renewal fee is $45. The secretary knows that the company website and email addresses cannot operate without the domain name. So this attack is effective because the secretary cannot disturb the CEO during an important meeting. So they purchase the domain name renewal. It will be, 3 to 4 months before the renewal date. It may be well before then, but guess what? It's done, and that's another way to, make money off someone who's not being vigilant. Now, familiarity and trust. In preparation for these attacks, hackers make themselves familiar to their victims. They come around a lot, bringing them boxes of chocolate, and eventually they become trusted. At that point, they can begin working their way inside a company, for example, gaining access to areas of the company that they should not be able to access. This is effective as they become part of the furniture and nobody questions their actions. Next page, please. Just one more example, which is consensus. People like to be accepted by their peers and coworkers. An attacker might ask for some information, state that they obtained at least a week from a coworker and just need an update on it. This works as the person supplying the information does not want to be seen as acting differently from other members of the team. Sometimes this is referred to as social proofing. So because you want to feel like you're part of the group, you give information you have no business giving. Next page, please. Now, how do we protect ourselves? With all the examples I gave you, there was one thing in common. A human was the mode of getting information, be it trying to get access into a building, be it getting access to your computer, be it even dumpster diving. It all pertains to us. Nobody's saying that we can stop social engineering attacks all in one go, but we, the humans who are the vectors of this, we can make a strong deterrent. We can make it such that it will be very difficult for the hackers to get in through us. Now, always err on the side of caution. I'm not saying don't trust people. Personally, I don't trust anything. Treat each encounter suspiciously until proven otherwise. Unless don't say, oh, I know this person, that's a friend of this friend, so that's automatically my friend. No, let them prove themselves. When in doubt, be it especially in the work environment, speak with your IT team. Every now and then, it's easy for us to click this and click that, but there's always that little voice that says, are you sure you want to click on that? That doesn't sound like someone I know. That email address sounds funny. Please listen to that. It just takes, a few seconds, maybe a minute to contact your IT team. There are no free lunches. Don't trust a stray USB drive. People find USB drives strategically placed outside of their office buildings and they pick it up. They think they got some info or whatever, and then they check by installing it into their office computers, and boom, we got a virus going. Be wary of texts, emails, and verify any email commands from higher ups. I know they sign your paycheck, but please, 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 if we weren't doing what we are doing now, I would say, yeah, it will be very easy for us to be tricked into doing any of this. Now, with all the tutoring we've gotten from South Africa and all these exams we are taking, we need to implement that in our daily lives. Anything. And as I said during my presentation, I get a lot of text messages. It could be from companies that I've bought something from, that I haven't bought something from in a while. And they are like, click this, click that. On your text message, you don't even have to open it, but you can read some of the first lines. If it doesn't sound legit, it sounds a little off, don't even open the text message. Just swipe left and delete. Always be aware of your surroundings. Watch people riding on your coattails to enter into buildings, and lock your computer when not in use. I know your bathroom break is just 5 minutes, and you're like, I'll be in and out. I'm just leaving my I don't want to lose this. I'm just leaving my computer. Please save whatever document and lock your computer. Make it difficult for the hacker to go through you. The hacking will happen, but it sucks when it's you. Now, don't leave your passwords out in the open. No sticky notes with password and little stuff around your desk. No, nothing of that, because you have the people looking over your shoulder, people looking at what you're doing. They will use that. Next page, please. And my references was South Africa LLC and A&L's CompTIA Security Class SY0601 book. Thank you for listening. And I'm ready at the firing squad.
Go ahead, Shafiu. I don't have any questions. I think she covered everything on my side.
Okay. So, Madam Zila, thank you very much for this
You're welcome.
important presentation. I like the confidence and everything. And
if only you knew.
As Bob rightly said, his question has been answered. But I know some of us here are having questions that,
yes, please,
or things that we need clarification on. So I'm just going to open the floor to other members.
Okay.
If anyone has any question, he or she can bring it up, and then we'll see. If anyone has any question.
I have Caroline, I have Nana Yao, I have Jocelyn, I have Derek, and I have Janet. Yay! Hi, Janet.
Good.
So
okay.
Please, any questions? Oh, and I have Kurt.
Mr. Kurt, go ahead. Yeah.
Hi,
Okay.
Kurt.
Okay. All right. So you said more time they send spam SMS to your mobile that you do this, do that. Is there a way to stop those spam messages on your phone?
I'm still working on it, because the truth of the matter is the ones I get those messages from are companies I've bought stuff from in the past. So personally, I can do the do not subscribe thing with them if I want to. But for now, I don't open the message, I just delete them. I know there's got to be a way to block that, because like I said, it's not strange per se, because they are companies I have purchased stuff from. It could be Wayfair, it could be Victoria's Secret. But after a while, you're like, this is too good to be true. It's like spam. So I just, like I said, when I go into text, I don't even open each individual text. I just read from the top. I see what's going on. Like, nope, swipe left, delete, delete, delete. So I'm not tempted to go in later and open the text and pretty much invite anything into my phone. So that's just me. But when I receive emails, you can go to unsubscribe just to be sure that you didn't inadvertently subscribe to them, because they normally go through things, and you know that most of these companies, like I said, they could use a company like Victoria's Secret. It may not be Victoria's Secret sending me any info, but it could. So that's what I do. I'm going to figure out how to block them from my phone. But for now, I don't open the links. I just swipe left. And then if I can unsubscribe, I unsubscribe. So that way, if I've unsubscribed to Victoria's Secret, you can't come back and say you're Victoria's Secret. You have to figure out another way to come to me.
Okay, so sometimes I also get text messages from other companies and the rest. So I was wondering, how did they get to know your number and send those text messages?
Oh, it's easy. I don't know where you are, but in the US, they sell numbers. When I first started working, before I got into securities, I worked in the financial industry. We used to buy numbers. So let's say we can buy numbers from, I'm just saying, New Jersey. So they'll give you numbers from New Jersey that because you're calling clients to make financial decisions and to introduce them to your financial products. So they sell numbers. That's why sometimes some companies will ask you, is it okay to share this? Because in a sense, just like some of the things I said in the presentation, most companies in the same industry have a way of connecting, they have a way of networking. So if a hacker or somebody gets that inside information, most of the PIs are common knowledge. Some companies do sell, and then some companies will tell you, is it okay to share your information? Lately, they're doing that because of lawsuits. But yeah, it's very easy to get people's phone numbers and stuff. Unfortunately, very easy. And I think dumpster diving is one of the ways that it's made things easy, because your phone number is one of the easiest things. Oh my gosh, you get the phone calls, even via phone calls, you get phone calls. And the good thing about the phones now is they'll tell you spam likely. Some of the phones would even be able to tell you that that is not a normal person you speak to, or we have already flagged this number somewhere as spam. So that helps. But otherwise, getting someone's phone number is very easy. I can go on Google right now and type someone's phone number. Sometimes, depending upon how secure they are, the company, the best ones will say, most people will say, oh, we don't have this person's number. But if it's someone of authority or significance, you really want their number, you may pay maybe as much as maybe $10. And you can get everything. They'll give you their phone number, their address. So, Kirk, that is not a problem at all. Very easy, actually, right here. Very, very.
Thank you.
Any questions? I have Caroline.
Okay, any question?
And I have hi Nanayao. You have any questions for me? Because I think you just logged on. I have Derek and I have Janet.
No question for me. I went off and came back on just.
You guys are making my day.
So okay, one question.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm all yes, Kirk.
Okay, so how will you prevent yourself for these companies not to get your number to, send those spams? Is there a way for you to secure your number so that they don't get to send you message, or they don't get even your number at all?
Okay, first of all, Kirk, from what I know personally, there's nothing that's foolproof. There's no way I can say nobody out there will get my number, with the exception of maybe my doctors, my bank, my kids staff. You can never, there's nothing that's foolproof. But like I said, any company you're dealing with that gives you the option of, is it okay to share your info with, you go no. When I'm good and ready to share my info with anybody else, I'll do it myself. No, thank you. That's how I start, because there's really no way to stop that completely. You can put, I'm sure you can put measures in place on the computer, but how can you do that? How do you know who's going to call you from what number? How you gonna? I get phone calls from Ohio. I get phone calls from here. Then I'm like, I don't know anybody in that part of Ohio, because it will tell you where in Ohio the call is coming from. With the iPhone technology now, it will tell you, oh, call from Cleveland. I'm like, I don't know anybody from Cleveland, Ohio. I don't know anybody from this area. So I'm just saying, you get calls like that. You can, easily. For me, if it's a phone call that comes, so I don't recognize it, I just go into block the caller, block the caller, block the caller. So if I owe you money and you call me with a different number, oops, I'm blocking your number because I don't recognize the number that you're calling me from. So that's how I do it personally, but I'm sure there's a way. But to say that to absolutely stop anybody outside of the few people you've given your number to, no. Example, people lose their phones all the time. You know that, right? When that happens, guess what? If it's a hacker who has access to that person's phone, so do they have access to all the person's contacts. How do you stop that? You can't stop that. So to say that there's with absolute certainty that nobody can have your, no, except the people you give it to, I don't think that's possible. And I dare anybody out there to tell me it's not possible. They will have access to it. But yeah, it's up to you to find a way to screen calls that you don't recognize. And if I don't recognize your call, I'm not answering. It's that simple. So any family member who changes their phone number, better text me and tell me they changed their number. I'm not picking up that call. Because I don't know if by just answering and connecting, there's got something is happening on the waves. But like I said, if someone steals someone else's phone, they will have access to all their contacts. So you can be as vigilant as you want to, but I think it's not always foolproof. We just have to stay on guard. We just have to stay on guard. Thank you.
All right. To
Okay,
add to
thank
what
you
you
very
just
much
said,
for the information.
to add to what you just said, there is something they call the implicit deny, implicit allow, explicit deny, explicit allow. These days, you can set up your phone in a way that only contacts that you have saved on your phone can come through when you're calling. And when you set it up that way, if you don't have a number saved on your phone, when they try to call, it won't come through. But there's a lot of disadvantage to that, because what that would mean is you don't, or you probably won't know every important phone call that will be coming to you.
Right.
So when that happens, you will actually be ignoring very important phone calls that you don't already have saved on your phone. I'm just throwing that out there, that option is there,
Right.
but
Right.
it's actually a very disadvantage when such a thing happens, unless you are very much absolutely 100% sure that
Can't be.
all the important people, yes, all the important people that you are looking for are what you have saved on your cell phone. Other than that, anybody who's trying to call you that isn't saved on your phone couldn't make it to reach you when they're trying to call you. So I just wanted to put that point out there.
Okay. And to add to what you said, I noticed that I have my children's doctor's office's numbers saved, but I noticed that sometimes I get a voicemail and I didn't answer the call and it's still from them. I'm like, how many numbers do you guys have? Because sometimes the first 6 are the same and the last 4 is not the same. Sometimes even it's only just the area code that's the same. The rest are not the same. So like you said, it's difficult to determine if it's someone you've already saved, because you could save someone's number, and if they have other extensions, when they call you from that extension, it will not come through because you blocked them.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, Kirk.
So I
Hi
have
there.
something, it's not a question, it's just a comment. So
Okay.
So I think the bottom line of this whole thing is that number one, we can't stop it, like you rightly said. Even the big companies with the big technology, you can't stop somebody from actually trying to get into your system. So the most important thing is don't click on the thing if you're not sure where it's coming from.
Correct.
Don't give information if you're not sure where it's coming from. So for example, I get a call from my internet service provider and they're trying to get information. I didn't recognize the number. I hanged up and I personally called their number. And then I was like, hey, somebody called me. I wasn't sure. At least that is a way to prevent giving information to the wrong guy. So if you're not sure where it's coming from, just don't give information. Don't plug in anything you're not sure where it's coming from. And I think that is the basic way to save yourself.
Thank you. Another thing I used to do was when I get a phone call from, say, internet company or whatever, asking this, that, and the next, I'll go like, oh, I'm in the middle of, what's your name again? Oh, your name is Derek. I'm so sorry, Derek. You called me at the wrong time. Can I call back? I will call you back, please. And then what I do is I go back and call from my statement, the number on my statement. I call them and I ask them, did you call me for XYZ? I know it's a little more work, a little more, stuff. So if it's someone else, phone spoofing and calling, acting like them, and it's not them, it doesn't work, because they go like, no, we haven't called you today, because they, on their computer, as your phone number comes up, they can see on their computers who they've called, if you've been called or whatever. If there's a message, it's always in there. They'll go like, no, Zilla, we haven't called you today. So then I know that was not them calling. And then what I do is I go back on my phone and that number is blocked. It may be a little inconveniencing, but that's what I personally do. So yes, that's another way for me to stop, because I always, if you ask me for information, you best believe I'm calling the main number I have for that company. I'm not giving anything over the phone. There's no, oh, so your number is 732. I'm like, oops, I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of this. Can I call you back? Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. I watched a video yesterday, which is not related to this at all, where a grandmother was on the phone with one of her grandchildren who was always asking her for stuff. And the grandchild was going on and on and on. You know what the grandmother did? It's going to sound funny, but it happened. She walked to her front door and rang her own front doorbell and said, oh, there's someone at the door, I'll call you back. And hang up on her grandchild. She rang, that's, I mean, it's not related to this, but hey, it was effective. It got the person off the phone. So I'm just saying, the little extra step to make yourself safer, do it. Maybe this grandchild was not good for her health. So she rang her own doorbell and told the grandchild, there's someone at my door, baby, I gotta go. Yep, Kirk, yeah. And someone put a note there saying, wow, this grandmother is gangster. I'm like, she needs her mental health sane. So yes, anything we have to do, but we can't be foolproof, so we have to do more because it's getting easier. I was at the grocery store the other day. I was trying to pay and someone was right behind there. I was like, excuse you, like you are on me. Can I have room to enter my stuff? And my friend was like, wow, no personal space. You know what I mean? Like you're not supposed to, we just got out of COVID, barely. You can't be that close to somebody. So I was like, that's how, I just said it out loud. That's how people steal people's account information when they don't have space to transact their payments. And the person felt offended and moved away. But that happened at the grocery store. And there was room. I was at the checkout. I was paying. So they had to give me room. But no, they were so close. If I lifted my elbow, we'll be touching. That's how close they were. So I had to put that out there, offend them, unfortunately, for them to give me room. But that's what I did. I wouldn't recommend it though, but that's
very interesting. Very interesting. I think social engineering is all about us. It's all about how people use strategies, tricks to get us to, or to lure us to, for victims to their whatever, I mean, intent or whatever intention they have in their mind. So it's normal. So we all have to be careful, as you rightly said. If you have something, if you hear something, if you see something that you're not sure of, just try to do the right thing. Maybe if you had a call and then you're not sure of the source of the call, just have to hang up, as Derek rightly said, and then call them with their own, the number, the different number or whatever that you have. By so you'll be sure about who you are giving out your information to. And we all know how nowadays we subscribe to so many different platforms, in that how the terms and conditions are there, we agree to it. By keying our information, when you give out your information, you agree that's fine, they can share your information. That is how come sometimes our important information fall into the wrong hands, or sometimes there has been a compromise of a particular organization system of which they have your information, your data, and then that one could be used against you by selling those information in the dark web, and then bad people using that for any bad intent. So in all, I think it's a very good presentation by Zila, as I rightly said. And we also had very good questions coming from different sources. And I wanted to ask about key login, of which she made an explanation in regards to the grocery store that she went and then trying to make payment and someone standing behind her. Okay, so that is also another way of getting to kind of see people's passwords and stuff like that, or login credentials. By you preventing the person, you did the right thing. And then I know we have also learned a lot from that. Next time, if you go to the grocery shop or any other places that we're going to use maybe cards or whatever, or any important information, we should try and be careful and be mindful of those people standing behind us and try to stop them from coming closer to us. So I think it's a very good presentation. So we'll not waste people's time because we've exhausted all the... All right.
Shafiu, just last thing. One last thing. No company you do business with will call you and ask you for your social security number over the phone. They have that information already. No company you do business with, your health, be it your health insurance, be it your bank, they will not call you and say, Zilla, could you provide your 9-digit social security number? It's not going to happen. Could you confirm it doesn't happen? They will come, the worst they would say is last 4 digits, but they will not ask you to confirm your social. They will not ask you to like those basic. That's why I call back. The minute you call me and like confirm me, if I'm like, what information? You're like, you are out. So just so you know, that should be a trigger for you. Someone calls you and they want you to confirm no, it doesn't work like that. When you call them, they'll ask you to confirm, and you can say, I'm just going to confirm the last 4 digits, or I'll just give you, the year or whatever. You can do that. But if they call you, no, same as passwords. They won't confirm, ask you to, no, they won't ask you for that. Nope. Or what's your username? They won't ask you for that. They won't ask you for that. So as soon as you're getting there, some calls that should be like a red flag right there. Not going to happen. But thank you so much for your time, and thank you for all the questions.
One more thing. Kirk asked a very important question in regards to how to block a spam message on your phone. So I thought maybe Moss could or would say something about that, if there's anything that he can throw more light on it for us.
Okay.
Like I said earlier, there is you could do the individual calls that are coming in block. Like Zilla was saying, when she sees or confirms a number as one that she doesn't want, she goes ahead to block it. That is actually work. So meaning every time you have phone calls coming through and then you are not comfortable with it, you go ahead to block it. That's one way. The other way was what I mentioned earlier, which is the implicit allow and implicit deny. The allow will be you are only allowing a few numbers that you have saved on your phone. So those are the people that you've said, these are the guys that can call me. Anybody else that falls outside this list, when they call, they should be blocked. And there's a disadvantage to that. The disadvantage is if you have very important calls that are supposed to come to you, but you don't have those numbers saved on your phone, then you're not going to be receiving those calls. So it's a bit dicey. One way is to actually take everything that comes that you don't want to block, and then you block it. And then the other way is you take the risk by actually only allowing numbers that you have saved on your phone. That way, if somebody's calling you and they are not in your list, they can't reach you. So this will be like the two options that will be on the table.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you very much, boss. Thank you. Dennis, you wanted to say something? Can you come in and then we'll wrap up?
Hi, Shafwi. Hey, Zilla.
Hello.
In fact, I love your bubbliness today.
and
it's interesting that in your conclusion, you said that you were ready for fired up. You were ready to be fired up with questions, right?
Right.
I guess you are the one who fired today's presentation, or fired everyone here with some good knowledge. Thank you so much for taking today's presentation. And thank you to everyone who made it here today. Shafwi, thank you so much. Catch you same time next week.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Okay, thank you very much. So, boss, if you have anything, you can just say so that we'll wrap up.
All right, so the new format for the presentation that I shared with you yesterday, I want us to use the first 15 minutes to deal with the Sophos training that comes in on a weekly basis. So we are going to be spending the first 15 minutes going over that video, and then we'll discuss it, and then we'll also answer the questions that come on that. And then the final 45 minutes that's left will mainly be used for the presentation and questioning. Also, what I'm looking at for us to begin to do is, instead of just presentation, I want us to indulge more in the hands-on. So Shafi, review your list of topics that you're giving out to the students and make sure you would include a few of the hands-on in there. I would like to see a presentation where a student comes in here and says, I'm going to show you guys how I can actually install the Qualys agent on a computer system, where they go ahead and do so. And then when they finish, they actually made us see that the agent has been added. Another example could be, I'm going to run like a Wireshark presentation where I'm going to show you how a password could be obtained by a cyber criminal. Those are the things that I'm looking at. I want us to be able to blend a few of what we've actually learned in terms of hands-on, rather than just doing what you call a presentation. I'm not saying we should rule out a presentation at all, but I want to have a blend of both the presentation and hands-on. Okay.
Okay, that's good. All right, so God willing, next week we'll come back again with another session. But because of this new development, next week we're not going to wait 5 minutes after 12 or 5 minutes after 4 before we start. So at 4 o'clock, 12 o'clock, or 6 o'clock here in the dot, we are starting the presentation so that we'll be able to meet the kind of time that we are going to spend in the, how they call it, the Sophos mandatory training, and as well as the presentation. So urging each and everyone is first to try as much as we can to join early next week so that we'll be able to start on time. So thank you very much for coming, and God willing, next week we'll come up again with another session. So bye-bye from here.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.